France is a wonderful country. It's a country which is very diverse. It's very central in Europe. It's one of the main European economies. And this is also the home of gastronomy.
You can find big groups, you can find startups, young startups, you can find international organizations, multicultural groups and communities, so you can share your own culture, your own skills, and I'm sure it will be a great journey. Teaching in business schools is extremely interesting because we get to look at real-life examples of companies for management and marketing, and I prioritize student involvement, both in the participation in class and also in bringing topics that they're curious about. So I try to create a really interactive environment where everybody learns from each other. I learn from my students, and I hope that they learn from me too.
Good afternoon and welcome to our International School of Management and this great webinar for you. The webinar, we're going to try and keep this down to around 20 to 30 minutes maximum. We're going to give you as much information as possible. My name is Darren Hunt. I'm the president, as it says on the screen. I'm not on my own today. I actually have a member of my team with me and one of our trusted partners. So let's just bring onto the screen Lakshmi. Hi, Lakshmi. How are you?
Hi, Darren. I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. I know we have our partner with us, but they've not got their camera turned on, so perhaps if they could do that. Our trusted partner, Western Lights, is with us,
She
but
just said that
unfortunately
she's
not on the
facing,
screen at the moment. Okay,
yeah,
no
she just
problem.
said that she's facing a network issue.
Okay, all right, no problem at all. Well, what we'll do is we'll crack on. I'll talk to you later, Lakshmi. I'll just explain to you what's going to happen. We're going to explain to you why you should consider studying in France. Why not go to the UK or any other English-speaking country when you could go to France? So what's so attractive about France? We're going to explain to you why you should consider going to France. And we're also going to explain to you who we are at our International School of Management and what we offer. If you have any questions, just put them in the comments box on the YouTube channel. And during the webinar today, we will answer all of those questions as long as we have time. If not, we'll go back and answer them later during the day. Okay, so without further ado, if I just bring onto the screen our PowerPoint where we'll be talking about OR International. First of all, the first thing you should know is that we offer 3 levels of programs. We have the BBA, which is the bachelor's degree, the MBA, and the EMBA. There are 2 major subjects that we're teaching, 2 major subjects. We do have others: international business management and international hospitality management. International because it's an international degree, obviously given by our school in France, and we are linked to the government as a registered school. So this is a French degree, but actually international. Everything is taught in English, as I will explain later. Now, either you specialize in business or in hospitality. Within business, we do have a couple of other specializations, such as data science and AI, but at the end of the day, it's an international business management course. And the hospitality could be within the restaurant business, it could be in the hotel business, it could be in other forms of hospitality that do exist. So just moving on to talk a little bit about Aura. So it's a fairly new school. We were created in 2021. It says by myself. It wasn't just me. There was at least 4 of us to start with, working very hard, getting this off the ground. It is a long process in France because obviously we are linked to the government. We're an official school. We do have 2 campuses where you have our logos on the map of France. You have the first one that is in Paris, in the capital of France, which I'm sure everybody has heard of. And then we have the second, which is in Lyon, which I'll explain to you, Lyon, in just a moment. So first of all, the Paris campus. Now, within Paris, you may not know Paris or you may not have ever been to Paris, but within Paris, in the west side of Paris, so the west part of Paris, there is an area called La Défense, and that's where our campus is. La Défense is actually the biggest business hub in Europe. So we're situated in La Défense, the biggest business hub in Europe. Moving on, you've got a couple of photos there. You have the reading area in the top right-hand corner, the reception area. You have one of the classrooms, and you equally have the cafeteria. Moving on to Lyon. So Lyon, why did we choose to have our campus in Lyon? In fact, Lyon was our first campus, and it's where our head office is. You have a small photograph there of Lyon itself. Lyon is the second largest economic city in France. So it was very interesting for us to be there, but not only for this reason, also because Lyon is known by French people and some people that know France well from outside of France. Lyon is known as being the capital of gastronomy, so it made sense for us to be there, probably more for the hospitality and restaurant side of business, but there you go. So just a couple of photos of this campus. So you have again a games room there. We have a games room in Paris too. Some of the students there walking in the city of Lyon and the cafeteria. So if we get straight into the interesting subjects of when you study abroad. When you study abroad, whether you're going to France or any other country, the first thing you're going to have to think about is the program that you're going to follow and the cost of that, of course. But then the second thing, which is really important, is accommodation. Obviously, you're going to be living in this foreign country for 2 or possibly 3 years, depending on which program you're following. So you need to know the cost of this. And the cost in France, as it is in Europe, is fairly expensive. It's between 400 and 800 euros per month. Now, that depends on whether you're in the centre of the city, whether you're on the outskirts of the city, but between 400 to 800 euros per month. Now, there are a couple of good points on this. Our International School of Management, unlike any other school, actually can provide accommodation for you, whether it's in Lyon or whether it's in Paris. So that's first absolute must concerning ourselves. Now, the second thing is that when you come to France, because France is openly looking for students to come and study in France from abroad, international students, the government will actually reimburse you between 35 and 50% of your monthly rent. So, for example, you're paying 600 euros a month. The government could reimburse you as much as half of that. So that's 300 euros. So you can see financially for the accommodation, it's very interesting for you too. The next big point you will see when I talk about our programs, we have internships that you need to do. Now, we actually provide the internships through our partner companies. Now, you will see when we talk about the programs that we have in each year, half of the year. So the first 6 months you will be studying. The second 6 months you will be doing your internship. Whilst you are doing your internship, you are paid. You will receive a minimum of around 624 euros per month. And then, of course, it can be more than that. It depends on the partner and whether you're in business or hospitality, etc. One point about hospitality, if you're actually studying hospitality, you would be living in the hotel. So you have no accommodation to pay for. You're fed by the hotel, so you have no food to pay for. Basically, what I'm saying is that any money you get from them is pocket money because you have nothing to spend when you're there, when you're working. Just moving on now to the partners that we have. That's just a few of them. We have partners in business, as you can see, in finance. On the hospitality side, it's very top end. We have 5-star hotels and we have many palaces with whom we work. Palaces are above 5-star. You have 2, 3, 4, 5-star and then palaces. So moving on to the benefits of actually coming to France. The first one is the social security. So you have health and insurance coverage for all international students that come to France. And this is the government, again, that have said we want to help people to come to France. Internship assistance, I've just mentioned that. That's a guaranteed pay that you will have. So you are paid while you're doing your internship. Schengen visa is the visa that you will need to come and study in France. Now, if you have the Schengen visa, it means that literally you could actually visit any other country in the Schengen area. Now, the only thing is that you have your studies. A lot of our students have a part-time job because the studies are actually 2.5 days per week, which means they have another 4.5 days to be able to have a part-time job and do whatever they want to do. So they don't travel that much. However, the school is closed for the summer holidays, for the winter holidays, Christmas holidays, etc. So when the school is closed, you can just go down to the local international airports, whether it's Lyon or Paris. We have international airports. And we have very low cost airlines. So you can actually find tickets to go to Barcelona, for example, for 20 or 30 euros. And that's a return ticket. So it's very cheap. The CAF I've mentioned earlier, which is the subsidy on accommodation, and that's from the government, paying between 35 and 50% of your rent. Student concessions is actually an official student card that you would have. And this student card would give you concessions almost everywhere. Transportation's the biggest one, up to 70% cheaper for students. Also, certain food outlets. It could be the cinema, museums, absolutely everything is cheaper for students. So now let's get into the nitty-gritty and talk about the actual programs themselves. So we have the Bachelor's in Business Administration, or the BBA. This course is over 3 years, and we offer this either in business management or hospitality management. The course structure, again, I mentioned it earlier, it's always going to be 6 months studies, 6 months internship, and that's each year. The eligibility criteria, either the European Baccalaureate, which most of you would not have, or the high school diploma, 12th grade or higher secondary school certificate, or the equivalent in any other stream. So the course fees, you have them on the bottom of the screen. For Paris, 10,400 euros per annum. And for Lyon, 8,500 euros per annum. And there's an administration fee of 320 euros each year. The next intake is September. Now, we have 2 intakes between now and the end of the year. We have September. It's actually the 2nd of September that you would start studying in France. And as you know, we're already the 28th of June. So it's really close now. We're actually going to be closing for the September intake in just a couple of days or so. So if you are interested, you would need to move fairly quickly. It's not too late, but we are getting very close to closing. Why do we close the applications so early when it's only in September that you would start? Well, if you think about it, we only really have July and August. That's 2 months. We do need time, not so much for ourselves. Once you've applied at Or International, within a few days, you would have had an acceptance or not. At least you'll know whether you've been accepted or not. If you are accepted, then we need to prepare you. You need to prepare your file for your visa, etc. And this can take a little bit of time. So that's why we'll be closing soon. But there is still room for a few people, and there is time as long as you're quick to be able to actually move forward and apply. Now, there is a difference between studying in Paris and Lyon in terms of the financial side of things. However, you'll see we have scholarships, and you'll actually find out that it works pretty much to the same price, because we are offering scholarships and a little bit more in Paris than we are in Lyon, to be able to encourage people to have the chance to go to the capital if they wish. Moving on to the MBA. So this is a master's degree. International Business Management and International Hospitality Management, the same, except the course duration this time is 2 years. The course structure is identical, with 6 months of study, 6 months of internship. And again, the eligibility criteria, a little bit different here. European Baccalaureate level 3 or 4. Bachelor's degree, you'd need to have a bachelor's degree in any stream, or the equivalents in any stream if you wish to proceed to study your master's degree. The course fees on the bottom of the screen. This is a video on YouTube, so if I'm going a little bit too quick for you, you can go back and have a look and freeze it. So Paris is 11,400 euros per annum, and Lyon is 9,500 euros per annum. Again, the intake is September the 2nd. And the admin fee is 320 euros. Just before, I mentioned that if you miss this intake, we do have another intake, which is literally just a few weeks after the September one. It's actually November. So you have just 8 weeks, and then you would have another intake. So if you want to benefit from that and you miss out on the September intake, no worries. We haven't. We've literally just opened, in fact, for the November intake. So we have some space left in September, and definitely for November, no problem at all. Just moving on, last but not least, we have the EMBA. Now, what's an EMBA? It is an MBA. It's just that we've called it an executive MBA. Why is it executive? This is for people that have their bachelor's degree, and then instead of carrying on to do their MBA, the master's degree, they decided they want to go out to work. So basically, they have their BBA, then they've decided they wanted to go out and work, and they've worked for a minimum of 3 years. So you can apply for an EMBA if you have your bachelor's degree and you have more than 3 years working experience. Now, the difference again with this, it is a master's degree, identical, except you can complete this within just 1 year. So the course duration, 1 year. Again, it's in business management and hospitality management. 6 months studies, 6 months internship, that's identical. And the eligibility criteria I've just mentioned to you. The course fee for this is €11,200 for the year, because it's a 1 year course with an admin fee of €320. The intake is in October for this. We have opened already for the intake in October because the places are limited for this particular course. Okay, so early bird scholarships I mentioned earlier. So if we look on the right-hand side of the screen to start with, you'll see for the Paris campus, for the first year, we're offering, for your very first year, we're offering a scholarship of €1,500. And then the second year would be €3,000. For the Lyon campus, there's nothing for the first year. However, for the second year, it's equally €3,000. And for the EMBA, which is in October, we're actually offering a scholarship of €1,000. Now, these are on a first come, first served basis. Just to explain to you how it works, basically at the end of each year, I decide how much money we're going to put into scholarships, and then it's in a pot, and we will give those out on a first come, first served basis. To apply, we'll just ask you a few questions. It's very simple. We don't need any particular proof from you, but if you do come from a very wealthy, a multimillionaire family, chances are you wouldn't get it. If you come from a normal working class family, or your parents or your family have a small business, then the chances are you would be able to get the scholarship. Applying couldn't be easier. We do have our partner with us, so you would actually be able to contact our partner, who I will introduce to you in just a moment or two, from Western Lights. You have Lakshmi, who you met earlier at the beginning of this webinar, who's there to take you through the process. This particular image is on the screen just to show you how simple it is. You literally just upload an application form that you complete online, front and back copy of your passport, updated CV, and a letter of motivation, and a couple of other documents. But it's a very quick process. You then have an interview with a local member of our staff. And that's just in English, just to test your level of English, which is important. You need to understand English quite well, because all of the courses that we'll be giving you will be in English. Having said that, you're coming to France, so we will also be teaching you French each day, so that when you leave France, if you leave, some students decide to stay on and find a job, but if you do leave France, you would have left with an international diploma, a new culture, and a new language on top of the 1 or 2 or 3 or however many languages you speak today. Okay, talking about accreditations. Now, some of you may find this part of it a little bit boring, but it's actually really interesting and important above all. Accreditations that are there to say that a school is up to a certain level of education and what they're teaching you merits to be accredited. So you can just see a few of our accreditations here. We have AMBA, Business Graduates Association, which they're worldwide. They cover both business and hospitality. We have ICRI, which is specifically for hospitality, very high end and specifically for hospitality. EFMD Global covers both business and hospitality, although for ourselves, it's just the business side that we were interested in being accredited for. RNCP, you've probably never heard of, but it's actually really important. This is the French government. And then we have the CCI, which is the Chambers of Commerce and Industry, of which we're extremely proud, because we're one of only 9 schools that are actually a partner of the Chambers of Commerce and Industry there on the screen. Okay, so you have our contact details on the screen. What I'm going to do is bring up on the screen Lakshmi. Hi again, Lakshmi, so that you can the answer any questions. And also, I'm going to bring up our partner, who should be now with us. Some latency in the internet
I'm
connection.
audible, guys. I'm sorry, I'm facing a very bad network issue.
Okay, we can hear you, but we can't see you. I can see an image of you, so I can see you,
Okay,
but unfortunately, no one else can. Maybe if you could just take the time to just verbally explain to us who you are and what you do for the people that are watching, in case they don't know you.
definitely, definitely. Yeah, sure, sure. So we Western Lights Consultancy. We are in this firm for past 2.5 years, and one of our prominent countries is definitely France. And when it comes to business sectors, we really believe France is the number one option because I think the top and all these business schools are in France. And coming to Aura management, I mean, it is really incredible because 6 months of internship and classes, I don't think any institution can pull that off. So you are giving both two different opportunities. A student can study as well as work. So it doesn't come that easy. So also internship and I think scholarship, that too with scholarships. So current situation, I mean, looking regarding the Europe, this opportunity is a big thing for people. I mean, most of the students who are planning to get their work and study in the field of business, definitely. So we are happy that we are a part of Aura International Management. And thank you, Darren, for this wonderful opportunity, and also Lakshmi. And very sorry at the beginning I couldn't because I'm still facing a few network issues. I hope you guys
It's
thank you for
okay.
managing.
That's okay. We can actually see you now, so that's
Yeah,
great
thank
to
you.
see you as well as hear you. Your internet's working better now.
Oh, good to know.
That's
Good to
good.
know.
Okay, well, thank you very much. We have your details that are on the screen. So if you want to come back to this part of the webinar, you can do so. And you have the details there with the telephone number
Yeah,
of our partner, Western Lights Consultancy. So don't hesitate to get in touch with them. If we trust
sure.
them, you can trust them. They will
Yeah,
explain to you the process. They work hand in hand with Lakshmi, that's on the top right hand of your screen. That's a part of OR itself. She's the admissions manager for OR International. So you have these two young, beautiful ladies there to help you. Ask them questions. They will take you through the process, and it's a very simple one at that. We don't have any particular questions that have come up, so I'm guessing that we've answered them all. Again, if you do think of some questions afterwards, you have the details on the screen,
sure.
so you can get in touch with our partner, and they'll be happy to answer you. So I guess it's just to say thank you for you all being there today. Thank you both ladies for being there with me and
Yeah,
brightening our day. Have an absolutely wonderful afternoon and weekend. And we hope to see you all, some of you in France very soon, I hope. So thank you
sure.
and have a great day.
Fingers crossed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take
Thank
care.
you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Thank you.